afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me an immense pleasure to host our show, Race Previews, where we'll go through the race card for this double meeting, which is race meeting 26 and 27. Before we start, I'd like to remind you viewers that there are no false race for both Saturday and Sunday. And as usual, I heartily welcome our racing consultant from South Africa, Devon Habib. How are you, Devon?
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, I'm doing very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So double meeting this weekend, and especially the classic race, the most awaited race of the year.
Yes, look, obviously it's a very big race meeting, and it's like the Durban July of Mauritius. It's like the Royal Escort meeting in Mauritius. So yeah, it's quite exciting. The best horses are running, and I think it's gonna be a very, very good day racing. I mean, some tough races, but some races that look really, really easy. So I think if it goes to plan, we can find the punters some good value on the day, and I think I've definitely found a few horses that stand out for me, and I think it's going to be a good day or good weekend racing.
As usual.
Very excited for that.
So we'll now start with race meeting 26 to be held tomorrow, Saturday, 2nd September 2023, with race 1, the Unity Association of Petit Rafraie Cup with 6 runners over 1400 meters, 0 to 20, with number 1, High Voltage, number 2, Quackon, number 3, Romanus, number 4, Inauguration, number 5, Sheshbesh, and number 6, Duke of Ebercon. Devon, your selection for the win here.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've given this also a lot of chances. I'm going to go back and give him one more chance. I think this definitely is race to win. He looks like he's in the right space, and I'm going with number 5, Sheshbesh. I think his last run was very impressive. Even though he pulled up lame, if they've got into that problem of him where he pulled up lame, I think he's definitely the horse that they will have to beat. I like him. I don't make him a good thing. He's got to beat Crackon, who's beaten him before, and Romanus, who looks like he won a very good race last time. So,
for the win, it's Sheshbesh.
I'm going with Sheshbesh for the win, number 5. Yeah.
And for the second place, you like Romanus. This time, Rajawan on board and is stepping up over 1400 meters.
Yeah, look, obviously, I think the little bit further they go with this horse, the better it is. And he likes to have that late run in. He won a good race last time, so I'm going to tip him again. I think he can win again. But I'm tipping him to run second. I think it's Sheshbesh's race to win.
And for the third place?
For third, I'm going with a horse like Crackon.
The quite consistent horse.
Yeah, look, he's consistent. His last 4 starts have been really good. He won a good race when he won, but I don't know if he's going to go back to back. Last time was a 0.15. He's stepping up to 0.20 now.
Slightly.
His weight's a little bit heavier. He's got the draw 1. He's got Donny up again. I might be on the wrong horse here. Crackon, I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning again, but I'm gonna give it a go. I think I'm gonna take him on with Sheshbesh.
And which was to complete the quartet?
To complete the quartet, number 4, Inauguration. I don't know. There's something about his last run behind Spotted Pearl. He never got an easy run in, and I think he'll definitely have it after his 3rd run for the stable. Should be cherry round.
I like this horse Inauguration, though he's 8 years old, but I think he's worked quite well, and the many times he deceived us, but this time small field, and we can see him.
Yeah, and there's no false rail, so I think it's not going to be hard for them to get that running into the home straight. I do make him a big runner, but it's a very tough start to the meeting.
Yeah.
Go wide if I was the punters, but there's a lot of value in number 5, Sheshbesh.
So for the win, number 5, Sheshbesh, and for the placings, number 3, Romanus, number 2, Quackon, and number 4, Inauguration. We'll now move on to race 2, the Mouvement Civique du Mode Albert Cup, with number 1, Cap Kuta, number 2, Al Jazeera, number 3, Honokalani, number 4, Senal Cessna, number 5, Quest for Good, number 6, Italian Way, and number 7, Otax. This race will be run over 1400 meters, 0 to 20. Your favorite here, Devon, for the win?
Yeah, Ria, look, the betting suggests it. I mean, it's 180, 8 to 10 favorite. Honakalani, very smart horse. Cedric Surgeon up, draw 4, everything's in its favor. I don't think this is a 19 rated horse. I personally feel he's a lot higher than 19. He's right behind Waterbury Lane, Good Traveller in South Africa. Those are top horses. Those are Group 1 level horses. So
this should be an easy field for him.
I'll make it a one. I'll make it a one-horse race in my opinion. I think he's a very strong, very strong bet.
And you think the 1400 meters will suit him better?
Yeah, he's run in South Africa. He ran behind Sand City and Waterbury Lane over 1400.
Yeah.
1200, 1600. Yeah, I think the 1400 is better for him. I'm quite confident on this horse.
And for the second place?
For second, look, I think Kaputa. Ignore his last run. The go-in, he doesn't like it when it's wet. It was soaking wet that day. They cancelled after that race, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's going to enjoy the go-in today. I think this is the type of horse that likes to shut up when it's not his time to win. I do think he's working extremely well. He's in a good space. His form this season hasn't been really good, but I mean, we've had a lot of rain, so now when the track starts to get a little bit harder, I like him going forward.
Do you think in this race there'll be strong pace?
Yeah, look, I definitely think Al Jazeera is going to go to the front, and Artex is obviously going to try challenge him. Italian Way could also try dictate or try get to the front, but I do see a lot of pace in this race. So, I mean, Al Jazeera, big runner if he doesn't bleed.
Yeah, leader.
That if he doesn't bleed, he'll win by 3 lengths. But I think because he's a bleeder, I'm not going to be too confident on him. I'm going to tip him to run 3rd. That's my selection for the trifectas. I mean, 3 to 1, 1 to run 2nd, and him to run 3rd. And for 4th, I'm going with a bit of an outsider. I think he's at 900, Italian Way. I just feel like also same type of thing. Italian Way enjoys the hot pace, so if
he'll not be that far from the leader.
If he doesn't get left or anything like that, he'll definitely be there. Big runner.
So for the win, number 3 Honokalani, and for the placings, number 1 Capcuta, number 2 Al Jazeera, and number 6 Italian Way.
Yeah.
We now go to race 3, the First Responders Cup, a sprint of 990 meters, 0 to 26 with number 1 Captain of the Sea, number 2 Great Stovanen, number 3 Christmas Ice Cream, number 4 Protective Light, number 5 Vortacus, number 6 Global Spectrum, number 7 Japtor, and number 8 Fort McHenry. Devon, your best bet in this race?
No, look, I don't know if it's the best bet on the card. I think it stands out in this race. Vortacus.
Yeah.
I do like Vortacus, and I like him quite strong. I think he's a really smart horse, and I do see him winning this race, and winning it quite well.
And now for the second place.
For second, I'm gonna go with number 1, Captain of the Sea.
Down in class. Good form. Ran behind Light of My Life, who came out and won a good race. And yeah, very big runner. And for the third place, you like Japtor?
Yeah, Japtor, also smart run last time when he ran second to Never Mew. Yes, he beat Vortacus time before that. I just think, I don't know, maybe the weight turnaround, it's hard for Vortacus to actually beat Japtor, but what's the price there? Japtor's 220, 230, Vortacus 175. It's tight. It's between the two of them if you're going. I mean, he's got the draw 1, he's got the claim again.
The weight difference.
Yeah, he's big weight swing around. So, I mean, Japtor could be the right one in this race. But I personally feel that Vortacus is just a smart horse.
And for the fourth place, Fort McHenry, last time a nice race behind Vortacus.
Yeah, look, also I think he bled that day, so a very smart run from him to run just off them. So I do think he's gonna come back and run a really good race. If he doesn't bleed, I think he'll be there. But his last 2 starts he's bled, so let's hope he doesn't bleed again.
2 for the win, number 5, Vortacus, and for the placings, number 1, Captain of the Sea, number 7, Jackdaw, and number 8, Fort McHenry.
That's perfect.
Number 1 to race 4, the Makalapo race 2 of Pip Cup, with number 1, Desert Boy, number 2, Canford Lights, number 3, Denan, number 4, Freedom of Speech, number 5, Alaska Night, and number 6, Crazy Charlie. This race will be run over 1,365 meters in benchmark 41, Devon. I'd like you to talk about your winner of this race. Your choice.
Is a really big price as well. I think he's at 800.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make this all the value in the world. Number 3, Dunnan. I think he's a smart horse. If you go back into his earlier form,
back after 4 months.
If I'm not mistaken, he won his last start.
Yeah.
But he was demoted to 3rd. He won a good race last time. I don't know. I think this is a massive runner. I'm quite confident.
And
very,
he's
very
down
confident.
in cross as well.
Yeah, he's gonna lead,
And I think this
go to the front.
well fresh.
He's dropped massively in class. So yeah, he's gonna jump, go to the front, stay there. No race.
Mm-hmm. And which one for the second place?
For second, I'm going with Canford Lights.
Mm-hmm.
Big runner as well. His last start, he ran second to Freedom of Speech. It's his second run. Not my fan. I'm not a fan of the second run. So yeah, I'm gonna draw a line through his winning chances and tip him to run second.
And Desert Boy for the 3rd place.
Desert Boy, this race could definitely suit him. He ran a smacker race last time when we ran 4th behind Ron Stroy in the same type of company. I think if he produces that run, he's a big runner again. Definitely a big runner. Donahue, leading jockey, we got to make mention of that. He's the champion-elect jockey at the moment. He's doing really well. I think he's the right dog to follow. Running in a good space at the moment, and you can definitely get a horse like Desert Boy to win.
And Freedom of Speech, beaten favorite last time. He's stepping down in distance. This time you think this much better for him?
Yeah, he was a beaten favorite last time. Beaten by a horse called Christmas Bay, who I made one of my value bets on the day. I thought that could never get beat. So he got beaten by a better horse on the day, in my opinion. His draw's negative. He's got a draw 6, 1365, a little bit short for him. Yeah, I'm putting him into the back end of quartets. I know he's probably favourite, but I'm not confident. Once again.
So for the win, number 3, Denan, and for the placings, number 2, Canford Lights, number 1, Desert Boy, and to complete the quartet, number 4, Freedom of Speech. Race 5, the Makalapo race 2 of Pick of Duck Cup, over 1400 meters, benchmark 61, with number 1, Captain Lannister, number 2, Halo, number 3, Sedans, and number 4, Grand Vision. Devon, Captain Lannister.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk.
I think Stevie Wonder can find this winner. I mean, a blind man can definitely find him.
The odds saying it all.
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, the odds aren't even bad in my opinion. 135. I think that's a lot of value. I'd be taking the 3.5 to 10 any day of the week. I think this is a super banker. In 200 years, we can call this a 200-year banker again. I don't see anything beating him. I don't see anything coming anywhere near him. I think he'll win by 5 again.
I share your opinion.
I make him the bank of the card, bank of the weekend, bank of the century, whatever you want to call it. Very, very confident. Extremely, extremely confident on this horse. 3rd run off the race. Cherry ripe. No race.
And I'll let you talk about your selections for this race.
Well, obviously we all know we're going with number 1 to win.
Yeah.
Number 4, Grand Vision. I think he can run second, definitely. I think out of the 3 that's left, he'll win that second race. There's going to be a race on for second, so I'm definitely going with Grand Vision to run second. For 3rd, I'm going with Sea Dance. Also, yes, he came half a length behind Captain Annister when he ran 3 lengths behind Xavier, but Captain Annister is a very improving sort, and I don't think he's going to come anywhere near him again. And for 4th, Halo, obviously, He didn't run a really bad race last time. He was making up the ground at the back end, but Captain Annister was just in a race of his own. So yeah, I'm gonna tip it in that order. 1, 4, 3, 2.
So I already said it. For the win, number 1, Captain Lannister, and for the placings, number 4, Grand Vision, number 3, Sea Dance, and finally number 2, Halo. Now we'll move on to race 6, a sprint of 90 meters, the main race of the day. A group 2 race with number 1, Emblem of Hope, number 2, Valerian King, number 3, The Charlie, and number 4, Elmo. Devon, here we see that all lightweights except Emblem of Hope, which will be ridden at 58 kgs, and you like him for the win as well.
Yeah, look, obviously we have to make mention to the sponsors of the race.
Yes, the Makalapu.
Makalapu definitely stepped up to the party and sponsored a few races on the day, and thank you for their sponsorship. I mean, racing definitely needs that. It adds to the game and gives a bit of a vibe, you know. So, I mean, it's the resto bar, and I think if you guys want to have a good meal, you pop over there to Makalapo, and you'll have a really good meal there. Getting back to the race, it's a grade 2. I think the smartest horse in the race, the classy horse in the race, the horse that they definitely all have to beat is Emblem of Hope. I like him very strong.
Where do you see him in the race with the first draw?
I see him in the winner's box.
No, the position in the
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna jump and go to the front.
Definitely you see him in the winner's box.
I don't see anything challenging him. I think he's gonna go to the front. Obviously Almo is gonna try chase for the lead. If he sits second, he still wins. So wherever he sits, he'll win. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, very, very smart horse.
And Elmo for the second place, 3 wins already.
Yeah, look, Elmo is a bit under sufferance in this race. Quite a bit under sufferance. I think he's 36 points. That's 18 kilos. Yeah, he's massively under sufferance. I mean, 12 kilograms under sufferance. Yes, he's a smart horse. Yes, I've always liked him. Yes, I think he's a really good horse over 990. But is he good enough to beat Emblem of Hope over 990? I don't think so. I definitely don't think so.
He's won his victories on 990 meters.
I think he's a very good horse, but to beat Emblem of Hope, 18 points under sufferance, or 12 kilos under sufferance, very, very hard.
And for the third place,
we saw last week what happened with Frosted Gold. I mean, his rating was too good for the rest of the field.
Yes.
And he had no chance at the 300 to win that race, and just the clock proved how good he is, and he made up so much ground. It was a very impressive win by him, and I mean, we can proudly say that he's probably one of the better horses in Mauritius. And yeah, I mean, Almo, I'm tipping him to run second, because if he is good enough, he can win this race. But to beat Emblem of Hope, I think it's going to be very difficult.
So you think Emblem of Hope is 1 class above all the others?
Yeah, I mean, he's proven it. Yeah, he's a 9-time winner. The rest of them are 1-time winners and 3-time winners. So yeah, he's definitely proven that he's in a class above.
And for the third place?
For third, I'm tipping Dutch Alley. He's run behind. He's beaten Emblem of Hope before, and then he ran behind Wars of Dubrovnik. He beat Emblem of Hope over 990 as well. But this time, I think, yeah, I don't see him beating Emblem of Hope this time.
And definitely for the fourth place, Valerian King.
Look, Valerian King's a very smart horse, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you go back to his South African form, very, very smart horse. When Muzi used to ride him in South Africa, I think he won like 3 or 4 on him in a row. Very, very nice horse. I just don't think he's enjoying it at the moment, and he's not running good races. He's running distance. Yeah, I'm gonna tip him to run fourth purely because I don't know how to assess him. I don't know if he's been injured or if he's not the same horse that he was in South Africa. Definitely.
Yes, it's got new equipment as well. Blinkers first time, Allemande shoes on. And
he needs to improve a lot to be competitive.
Yeah. So for the win, number 1, Emblem of Hope, and for the placings, number 4, Elmo, number 3, The Charlie, and number 2, Valerian King. Moving on to race 7, Le Bouchon Association Cup with number 1 Action Pack, number 2 Nike, number 3 Footy Gold, number 4 Spry, and number 5 Warrior Captain, a sprint of 990 meters in benchmark 46. Devon, for the win, your choice.
I'm very confident, Night King. I like him very strong. I think last time the going was very wet and he pulled up lame as well. He got beat by a really good horse last time. So, I mean, we saw what Goatee did on the weekend. He almost dethroned the king, you know, what's his name? Frosted Gold. So, yeah, I do think he's a big runner. I think he's a banker. I make him very hard to beat. He's my best bet on the day. One of my better bets on the day.
So, pillar to post.
Pillar to post. Donny, you up. I think you'll win a very, very good race.
And for the second place, I see you like Spy, who's dropping down in class, benchmark 46, and he's got a superb form at track work.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. He's beaten Night King before, but that day he did have the claim on, and that day he was carrying a lot lower than Night King was. So yeah, I think it's going to be hard for him to turn the form around on Night King. It's going to be hard to make up whatever he did that day, and I think he'll run second. I think he's probably the better horse out of the three that are left that I've tipped, and I think he'll be fighting it out for the second position. For third, I'm going with Warrior Captain. His run behind Illicit Kiss was quite decent, and he didn't have a clear run in. So yeah, I'm going to tip him to run third. I think he's a smart horse as well. And for fourth, I think it's the first time they're trying this horse over the distance. 990. Footy Gold. Yeah, I think if he looks like he's got some ability, and if he can just produce what he shows at work, then he's definitely a big runner. So I'm going to tip him to run fourth, because we don't know. He's like a lucky packet at the moment. He could win because of the 990 and show his ability, or he could run nowhere. So I'm tipping him to run fourth, just to be safe.
Sure, for the win, number 2 Night King, and number 4 Spry, and number 5 Warrior Captain, and number 3 Footy Gold for the placings. We'll now go through the card of the 8th and last race for tomorrow, La Show Academy Cup, with number 1 Cloud Cedar, number 2 Straight, number 3 Gang Leader, number 4 Happy and Glorious, number 5 Mauritius, number 6 Hard Falling Rain, number 7 Jetstream, number 8 On a High Note, number 9 Color of Money, and number 10 Ticket to Cairo, which is the emergency acceptor of this race. A race which will be run over 1365 meters in benchmark 31. Devon, your choice here for the win?
You know who one of my favorite horses are. Straight. I love him. He's made me look good a few times when I've tipped him, and he hasn't disappointed. I'm tipping him again. I think he's a lot of value. He's probably sitting at 1,000 to 1 or 1,000, so it's 10 to 1. I like him, and I like him strong. I don't think anything's going to beat him.
So he's definitely improved after his last performance and win.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Danzi. Danzi came out and won, so what more do you want?
So why not double the win?
What more do you want? He ran on well, 1,400. I mean, he won a 990 with Derek. I think it's very hard to beat. So.
And what about Hard Falling Rain, the very consistent horse from Pretam Debbie stable?
Well, I mean, if we go on the Omen, we've had a lot of rain prior to the last week and a half, you know. So that, I mean, he's been winning because of the rain, in my opinion, and I think he could run second again. He got beat by a very smart horse last time.
Yeah.
He beat Sonnestrahl by 4 lengths. Sonnestrahl came out and won a good race. I do make him a big runner. Just think the class might be a little bit too much for him in this race to beat Straight. I think Straight's just a classier horse.
And for the third place, Color of Money, beaten favorite last time. This time draw number 9 in the stores, but I think it have more first horse on his inside.
Well, look, if Color of Money produces his second start where he ran 1 length behind Alpine Challenge, there's absolutely no race.
Okay.
But I just can't get this horse. I don't think he loves to be the bridesmaid. I don't see him enjoying the 1365, and I think I think he'll run into the back end, like probably third, fourth. He could win, and he could win well. I mean, his run behind Alpine Challenge was
They might
extremely
change
impressive.
the tactics this time, not going the front row.
Yeah, with that draw, probably be different
Yeah.
tactics. So I don't know. I think he's definitely a runner. I can't eliminate him from this race.
What's his odds right now?
He's sitting at 370, so he's a bit of value,
Good.
but he's a little bit short for my liking. There's a maiden taking on 5-time winners in Mauritius, so I'm not really a massive fan of that. But he can, don't get me wrong, he can win this race. I just think it's going to be very tough for him to win it.
And for the fourth place,
Look, I think Gang Leader, I mean, one of his better runs have come over the 1365. Also ran behind good horses, so he pulled up lame last time. If he doesn't have any problems this time, he'll be a big runner. I just think I got a feeling that Raj Jarawan's going to definitely suit this
can
horse.
make the difference.
Yeah, he's going to suit this horse. He's a hard horse to ride. He pulls extremely badly and very hard to settle. I think he's definitely going to be the pace setter. And the horse that, him and Hard Falling Rain are going to be up there. So if there's not too much cut in throats, he can be a big runner.
So for the win, number 2 Straight, and for the placings, number 6 Hard Falling Rain, number 9 Color of Money, and number 3 Gang Leader. Now I'll ask you about your best bets of the day, Devon.
Look, my best bet obviously comes up in race 5. You got Captain Lannister, bank of the day, bank of the century, very hard to beat. I think it's a one-horse race. And then race 7, my second best bet of the day comes up in race 7, number 2 Night King. Also looks very hard to beat in my opinion. The weight turnaround on Spra, everything is in his way. He's got draw 1, jump, go, Donny up, race over.
And as value bet?
In race, I think it was race 4 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, race 4, number 3 Donnan. I think that's a lot of value. At a really good price of, if I'm not mistaken, it was 800. And in race 8 Straight, I think that's also a lot of value at 1,000. So those are my 2 value bets. And for you?
And my best bet of the day will be Captain Lannister in race 5.
So
no one
knows anyone chocolate.
And as value bet in race 1, horse 3 Romanus, and in race 2, horse number 6 Italian Way.
Yeah, I think, those 2 horses have definitely got chances. They won really good races last time, so I do agree with you as well. But we'll have to see how racing goes. I think the 2 bankers are quite hard to beat.
Indeed. So now we'll take a little break and be back after to analyze the race card of the race meeting 27 to be held on Sunday, 3rd September 2023.
C'est parti avec le Navigation. La Twist of Fate est en 5e position, à 3-4 à longueur du meneur. C'est Al-Shiba qui va s'imposer dans cette épreuve. Holy Warrior qui a fait travailler Hubble pour s'installer en 2e position. Hubble part devant. Gatekeeper, la crossed goal côté corde. The Gatekeeper,
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll now go through the race card of race meeting 27, where we'll have our biggest classic race of the year, Group 1 over 2,400 meters, Devon, the People's Derby Cup.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a very, very good race, a good race meeting. Obviously, a massive thank you must go out to the sponsors.
The BSB Group.
Yeah, Business Solutions Professional Limited. I think they've stepped up to the party. They've sponsored every single race the whole day. So yeah, it's gonna be a good day, and we'd like to thank them for their contribution. It's nice to get these sponsors on board, and it makes it a bit more interesting to have everyone, come sponsor races. It looks good, it makes it look good, and it's nice to have the backing from other professions in the industry,
So we start with race 1, the Business Solutions Professionals Limited Cup over 1850 meters, 0 to 26 with number 1, Lord of Light, number 2, Overdose, number 3, Celestial Magma, number 4, Tomorrow's Vision, number 5, Pelago King, number 6, Universe Boss, number 7, Crimson God, number 8, Sokeru, number 9, Summerdale, number 10, the Hitman, and number 11, African Rock, which is the emergency acceptor of this race. Your choice for the win here, Devon.
Look, Ria, very competitive race. I think the 1850, I mean, as a maiden, Tomorrow's Vision, for me, looks like a standout.
You always like horses with the name of Vision.
Yeah.
Eagle's Vision, Tomorrow's Vision.
It's because I struggle with my vision, so I have to compromise on that, you know. I mean, this horse has got draw 2, claim 1.5. He's been running against top horses. If Alpine Challenge was in this race, we'd make Alpine Challenge 5 to 20 favourite. I think he's the right horse in the race, and he's ready to win.
I also think the 1850 meters are better for this horse.
100%, 100%. He's going to come from behind, and well, he won't be too far back, but he'll be there, and he'll run a very big race. Trust me, I think this is his race to win.
And what about Lord of Light and 9 Straw Yanish Taka on board for Ruhi Stable?
Yeah, look, Lord of Light ran a very smart race last time to lockdown. He needed it. It's his 3rd run after rest now. Cherry Ripe. You know, I always say I don't like their 2nd runs, and I always follow them up on their 3rd run. I think it's his 3rd run. I'm not going to tip him to win. I'm tipping him to run 2nd because I don't think his form is as strong as Tomorrow's Vision.
And for the 3rd place, Celestial Magma for his last performance. He was 6 behind Lockdown this time, draw number 8 in the stores, and Butaniv on board again.
Yeah, he definitely needed that run, and he faded so badly. So yeah, I think if he can produce what his previous form suggests, he's a massive runner. He'll run into the back end of
Looks like
Quartet.
he's going to be the sole leader in this race.
Look, I think it's between him and maybe Summerdale, you know, because Summerdale like to lead in South Africa, so maybe they change the tactics on Summerdale. So let's see how it goes. But I do think he'll lead, and I think he'll run a big race.
And what about last time winner Overdose? And do you think he can double the win this time, but drawn widely? Number
That's
11.
what put me off him completely. The draw was very negative. He can win again. He won very impressive. He beat the Hitman by 4 lengths, so he can definitely win again. I just think very hard from that draw.
So for the win, number 4, Tomorrow's Vision, and number 1, Lord of Light, and number 3, Celestial Magma, and number 2, Overdose for the placings. We now move on to race 2, the BSP School of Accountancy and Management Limited Cup over 1500 meters, 0 to 25 with 9 runners. Number 1, Amanda, number 2, Hudson River, number 3, Cargo Lee, number 4, The Jazz Singer, number 5, Ito on Me, number 6, Onika Montana, number 7, Sino Dunn, number 8, Moon Jumper, and number 9, Carolina Reaper. Your selection in this 2nd race, Devon?
Yeah, I'm going to be very honest with you. No disrespect to the horses in this race. I think it's a very, very weak field. Very weak. And I think Kalgoorlie's been running against a lot stronger. I'll make him the horse that they all have to beat. I think he's in the right space. He's been running against horses that if they were in this race, I'd make them super bankers. So I'm going to make him a banker, I think, or a banker in this race, let's put it that way. I think he's the right horse to win this race.
Over 1500 meters, much better.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's, in my opinion, it's a 2-horse race. I think it's between him and It Dawned on Me. I do think he's going to get the better of It Dawned on Me, and with a better draw. I do personally feel this isn't the strongest race at all.
And It Dawned on Me, you said it was
I'm tipping him for 2nd. His run behind Lockdown was quite impressive last time. I think he'll run a very good race as well. Doesn't have to be that good to beat this field. For 3rd, I'm going with Amantla. Also, if he brings his form from last year back, he's a massive runner. I do think he can run a big race, and I think he'll run into the back end of Quartet. He might just need one more. And for fourth, sorry, I'm going with Senior Don also.
Yeah.
He's been running against some decent horses like One Day or Day One, Do or Dare. So yeah, but he hasn't run in a long time. I think if Simon Jones has got him in the right space, I know he can definitely run a nice race.
So for the win, number 3, Kalgoorlie, and for the placings, number 5, It Dawned on Me, number 1, Amanla, and number 7, Sino Done.
That's correct.
Race 3, the BSP Associates Cup with number 1, Believe in the Future, number 2, Liquid, number 3, Sun and Stroll, number 4, Superior Force, number 5, Monitoran, number 6, Noble Trip, number 7, Captain Persia, and number 8, Little Pal over 1500 meters, benchmark 31. Devon, your choice for the win here.
Yeah, this horse, we've been speaking about him. There's a lot of form that's been franked. I think he's a very nice horse. Superior Force. He won very impressively when he did win, when he beat Hard Falling Rain. His form before that, very, very impressive.
Yeah.
Cousin Casey, Captain Cola, Cousin Casey.
Very good horses.
Very, very, very good horses. I think he's the right horse in the race. I'll make him the horse that they all have to beat. I would make him my best bet on the card if Sinestro wasn't in the race. Because I do think Sinestro also won a very smart race last time. And it's his race to improve on. So I think it's a 2-horse race in my opinion. It's between Superior Force and Sinestro. I think Superior Force will definitely get the better of Sinestro. If you go on collateral form line with Superior Force beating Hard Falling Rain by 3 lengths, Sinestro running 4 lengths behind Hard Falling Rain, you could have 7 lengths better off on him, but I don't think it's too much to read into because it was his second run. So yeah, I'm tipping him to run second, and I think Superior Force will beat him. For third, I'm going with Captain Persia. I think Captain Persia is the type of horse that will just like make a massive run for it at the back end of the race.
If there's strong pace.
If there's pace, and I definitely see pace being in this race, so I think he'll be running on. He'll definitely be running on.
And for the 4th place?
For 4th, I'm going with a horse like Liquid. I think Darby's got his horses in a really, really good space. Yeah, he's working well. He hasn't won his first race yet, but I do think he could run into the back end of Quartets. He's been running against Emblem of Hope, Grand Vision.
Could come
He's
from him.
he's the type of horse that could show up. I mean, he's been running against some smart horses. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him running a big race.
He's a big runner in this race.
That's definitely a big runner.
So for the win, number 4, Superior Force, and for the placings, number 3, Sun and Stroll, number 7, Captain Persia, and number 2, Liquid. We will now move on to race 4, the BSP Group of Companies Cup, with number 1, Royal Italian, number 2, Paddington's Luck, number 3, Secret Circle, number 4, Secret Oasis, number 5, Chapter and Verse, number 6, Gigin, number 7, Armed Force, number 8, Citadel, and number 9, Spotted Pearl. So Devon, your selection here in this race?
Look, it's also a tough race. I just think a horse like Armed Force, he's been running against some nice horses like Alpine Challenge and Secret Circle. I do think it's a tough race for him, but I do think he can win this race. I think he's a very smart horse. The claim 4 is definitely going to help him. I just don't know about the draw. The draw is very negative, but I do like him. I do think he's the right horse in the race.
From what we heard is that Apprentice Gurgo is not riding tomorrow.
The last
Hopefully
race, yeah.
he'll be riding on Sunday.
Okay, so yeah, let's hope he rides on Sunday. If not, then we'll have to see his replacement season. It does play a major role. I think he's a decent rider. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him running into the back end of court. I mean, running into the money and probably winning it. I think he can win.
And Spotted Pearl, who won twice, and do you think the hat-trick?
Look, the hat-trick is definitely
here?
on the horizon with that weight. 52 on its back. Stepped up majorly from a 0.20 to a 36. It's a big step up in class. But Ricky Mangard knows what he's doing. And I think it's a very nice horse. I mean, he's beaten Spiritual Wind ran a really good race last week, so yeah, I do think he can run a big race.
And what about?
Second, for third, I'm going with Secret Oasis. Also, second run's the only negative. That's what put me as tipping him for second. For third. Nice horse. Ran a really good race through all Italian last time.
Yes, very impressive.
The second run of the layoff scares me quite a bit. And for fourth, chapter and verse, this horse is a type of horse that can make up the ground, and I think with a hot pace on, he's going to be running onto the back end, and I don't know if he can win it, but he'll be there.
Okay.
Very, very consistent horse.
So for the winner, number 7, Armed Force, and Spotted Pearl, number 9, number 4, Secret Oasis, and number 5, Chapter and Verse for the placings. We'll now move on to race 5, the BSP Turf for You Cup, with number 1, Illicit Kiss, number 2, Was Illusion, number 3, Kavu Log, number 4, Pop Icon, number 5, the It Factor, and number 6, Ron's Joy. Devon, this race will be run over 1500 meters in benchmark 46. Which one you'd like for the win here?
Is it wrong in me saying that I think this horse is going to pose again? I think the jockey's going to sit and pose and pose. Illicit Kiss. I'll make him a super banker. Very, very confident. He's run last time. Please just have a look at that last run. It's almost impossible what he did. He went flat out the whole way, and he stayed there, and he got beat a short head on the line.
Yes, only by 0.5.
And he got beat by a good horse, Global Glory. There's no instinctive power in this race. There's no Global Glory. I don't see anything beating him. I think he's going to be very hard to beat. Very, very hard to beat. I'm very confident.
And for the second place?
For second, I'm going with your horse, your favorite, John's Joy. I know you love this horse. He beat Best of My Life. Best of My Life came out and ran a good race. So I think, I'm making him a big runner for second.
And what about number 4, Pop Icon, trained mainly at Petit Gamin from Dominic Zaki's stable?
You look, Pop Icon, massive step up in class when he ran behind Transonic, and he ran 3 lengths behind him. Good run. Then his next start, he dropped in class. Terrible run. 10 lengths behind Arnhem Land. Something must have gone wrong. I think this could definitely be the race that he can run, a big race in again. It's more his class, the 46. If he drops to a 41, I'll be very confident on him. I'm going to tip him to run third. Just want to see him come back to himself. I think he's a nice horse. Type of horse that enjoys being up there and enjoys the pace being on. So yeah, I'm going to tip him to run third, but if he wins, I'll be happy for the Zaki stable, but I just don't see him winning at the moment.
And for the 4th place?
For 4th, I'm going with Vars Illusion. I think Vars Illusion looks like the type of horse that has decent form. And Barduti is also, he's a good rider, so you can definitely get this horse to run a good race. And I don't know if he can win it, but I mean, if he comes back to his form when Tadesh used to ride him, it'll be hard to beat. But I think he's going to be hard to analyze and say, yes, I'll make him a good thing.
So for the win, number 1, Illicit Kiss, and for the placings, number 6, Ron's Joy, number 4, Pop Icon, and number 2, Vars Illusion. We'll now move on to the main race of the day, the most awaited race by our nation, the BSP Group People's Derby Cup, Group 1, to be run over 2,400 meters with 6 runners. Number 1, The Gatekeeper, number 2, Twist of Fate, number 3, Arshiba, number 4, Holy Warrior, number 5, Favor, and number 6, Lunification. Devon, you want to talk a bit about the horses first?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously it's the first grade one we've had this year. Really exciting, so we're all looking forward to it. I mean, there's some very smart horses in the race. I mean, we can start analyzing the horses. Yeah, I mean, we can speak about the Gatekeeper. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. He's had 8 runs in Mauritius. He's won 6 of them, and he's been beaten twice. He got beat by who I think is one of my best horses in Mauritius, one of my favorite horses, Walls of Dubrovnik. I love him. I think he's probably the best horse in Mauritius. And Twist of Fate, I mean, also a smart horse in the Maiden Cup last year. So I don't know how to analyze this horse. I can't get him right. I mean, I think he's a very smart horse.
He's got the record man on board.
Yeah, I mean, Raja
number 1.
He is got everything in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
2-4 for me in South Africa was his distance, but in South Africa I didn't like him as a horse. So for me to like him in Mauritius,
This is why now you don't like him also?
look, he's done nothing wrong, so I can't scrap him out. He beat Frosted Gold, who I was a bit bummed about because I thought Frosted Gold would beat him that day.
Mm-hmm.
But he is definitely the right horse in the race. I mean, if you go in on form, he's the right horse in the race.
And,
but the weight, 59.5,
the
level
stable,
weights,
they targeted each and every race of his this year.
they've done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And I can't fault him last year. But when he steps up to Grade 1 company, he failed. You know, last year he failed twice. He won once, but he failed twice. So I'm gonna tip him for third. I don't see him running into the first two. I'm gonna scrap his chances.
So we go to race 2, to horse 2, Twist of Fate, Perez on board, number 2 in the stores. He won the maiden cup last year over 2,400 meters. Last time he finished quite far from Lunar Vacation, but the track also was not that good, huh? His last performance.
Yeah, look, and he got taken out.
Yeah.
He was pushed into the rail, and everything wasn't nice. Didn't suit him. He hated every second of it. Draw a line through his last run. I don't think that's the twist of.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the twist of fate that we all know of. I think he's a very smart horse. He can turn it on like there's no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 2-4 is definitely down his alley. He beat Gatekeeper over this distance. He ran on strongly. Is he in the same space as last year?
Yeah.
I think he's not as perfect as he was last year, but I think he's there. Can he win it? I'm tipping him to run second.
Okay.
I think he's a very smart horse, but I see a roughie win in this race, and we'll get to him later on in the analysis.
And what about number 3, Ashiba, 9-year-old from Ricky Mangar, but sometimes giving his best if circumstances in his favor.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he win the Maiden Cup 2 or 3 years back?
Yes.
And
2 years.
2 years back,
on
yeah.
board.
And I mean, Raj Arawan's definitely the jockey for the Maiden Cup, eh? So we gotta analyze it. I think Cedric knows how to ride this horse. He won on him by 6 lengths, beating White River.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a big runner. But for me, I just think his form of late has been very, very average.
Mm-hmm.
He got beat last time by Lunification, time before that by Special Blend.
Yes.
I don't know. It's obviously it's a grade 1. I mean, every single horse can win this race.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna not give him a chance this meeting.
And number 4, Holy Warrior horse, which has the distance, in my opinion.
Yes, if there was an extra 1,000 meters,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be very confident on Holy Warrior, because he's the type of horse that loves the distance. Yeah, he loves the distance. A 2-4 last year when he ran in the Maiden Cup, you got to ignore that. I think it was his 3rd run of the season. He wasn't ready for it. I mean, you're still getting into the hang of things. His next start, he won. He beat Consul of War. I think he's a horse that will enjoy the distance. I'm tipping him to run 4th. Derby's got his horses in really, really good form, and I'm not tipping him to win, but I'm tipping him to run 4th. I think if the pace is on, he's there. If the pace isn't on, he can lead and he can run a big race. Yeah.
What about his stablemate Favor, number 5, with Taka on board, to number 3 in the stores?
If you had to ask me to compare the horses, Holy Warrior and Favor, I'd make Holy Warrior a better horse than Favor.
I agree.
I think Holy Warrior is definitely a better horse. Favor, for me, is not really in the right space. He's not running well at the moment.
Both have worked together, always.
Always working together,
Yes.
but the reason why you don't see Holy Warrior doing well is, I think it's like they're working, 1,000 meters or 1,200 meters.
Uh-huh.
Favor more suited towards the 16, 18, where Holy Warrior is more suited over 2,000, 2.4, 2.6, you know. So I think 2.4 definitely the right distance for Holy Warrior. I think Holy Warrior will be in front of Favor, but I don't think Holy Warrior is going to win.
And finally, number 6, Lunar Vacation, 59 kg, last time winner over 2,200 meters, but he got circumstances in his favor, but I still like him for the win in this one.
I'm actually, yeah, I think this is all the value in the race. We waited till the last horse. I know he's very under sufferance, heavily. I think it's 31 points under sufferance. It's 16.5 kilos. There's just two things that I have to make mention of. This horse has been stepped over 2-2 for the first time. He wins ultra impressively. Wins by 3 lengths.
Yeah.
When he ran over the 2-2, the time before that, he ran second. The time before that, he ran over 2,050 wins. Now it's 2-4. I think this is the first time he's going the distance.
Okay.
The stable's in hot form. The jockey's in form. He won a really, really good race last time. I know everything was in his favour.
As you said, for Gatekeeper, whenever he ran with the classy horses, no, like with the crux, he lost. But Luna Vacation,
He's definitely the dark horse in the race. He's the underdog. I like underdogs. I don't like tipping favourites all the time. I'm going against the favourite. I might be wrong. And don't get me wrong, I'll be happy to see the Gatekeeper winning, and I'd be happy to see any of these horses winning. I personally feel
your favourite is
unification.
Luna Vacation.
He's not my favourite horse. I think
In this race.
I think he's in the right space.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the right frame of mind. I think the way he won last time, I really liked him when he ran second to Special Blend, but I like Special Blend that day to kill. So he's been working extremely well. He can't fault his form. I think he's a massive runner. I really do. I think he's a mega runner.
So I think we've talked about all the runners.
And you? What do you think? It's a big race. I mean, you've got to analyze it.
It's a big race. I think the match is going to be between the Gatekeeper and Twist of Fate. Because form-wise, the Gatekeeper is very well. He's in top condition. He's got all in his favor. But Twist of Fate, distance-wise, he got the distance. And second row, this could be Perez could try tactical race. I don't know. Follow him close or let us see.
No, look,
Because-
it's going to be a good race. Don't get me wrong. If Unification gets a soft lead, he'll stay there.
Good luck to you.
I think you might be winning the chocolate this time, but if I win this one, I want a nice big Toblerone because this was a rough
For
result.
sure. Why not? So we'll now move on to race 7, the BSP Bureaucratic Stationaries and Services Limited Cup with number 1 Captain Flint, number 2 Nubezi, number 3 Your Pace or Mine, number 4 Absolutist, number 5 Prince Alpha. Over 1600 meters in benchmark 66. Devon, your choice.
I like Captain Flint. I like Captain Flint strong. His last run he beat Royal Wolf. Royal Wolf's done nothing wrong. I think Captain Flint will definitely win this race. And for second, Nobesi, the biggest danger. Got draw 2, Surgeon up. I think also big runner, run behind Zavion, run behind Padre Pio, beat Sea Dance. Also, I mean, he's probably the favorite of the day, and it's between the two horses in my opinion. But I think Captain Flint's just very smart horse.
No, this time, the weight, there's a weight difference on the 52 kg.
52.
Last time was 52 kg.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he won with Rama on board.
No, 100%. I mean, he ran behind. He's been beaten, funny enough, by Prince Alf, but I think something might have been wrong with him that day. He was bumped twice. He was challenged the whole way. So, yeah, I think he's going to get a soft lead, and it'll be hard to beat him.
And now for the third place.
For third, I'm going with Prince Alf, who's just improving every single time he runs.
Yes.
His last run, something wrong. Definitely, he wasn't in the race at all. He's a nice horse. I do think he can run a very big race. So yeah, I'm gonna tip him to run third, and for fourth, a horse like Your Pace or Mine, who's just been very consistent and definitely got the race to run a big race. Yeah, he's got draw 1. Yeah, massive runner. Definitely a massive runner.
So for the win, number 1, Captain Flint, and number 2, Nubezi, number 5, Prince Alf, and number 3, Your Pace or Mine for the placings. We now move on to race 8, the last race for Sunday. The BSP Agencies Company Limited Cup win number 1, Trapeze Express, number 2, Free to Win, number 3, Thomas Henry, number 4, Arizona Silk, number 5, The Contractor, number 6, Transonic, number 7, Magnum PI, number 8, Baluchi, and number 9, Tower of Wisdom. This race will be running benchmark 56 over 1400 meters. Devon, which one's your favorite for the win here?
I'm going to be honest with you. If I was a race planner or whatever you want to call that, I would make this race a group race. Not
Really?
because of the quality of horses, because of the form and the competition in this race. I think this is probably the better race on the day.
This is a very
If you
competitive
run this
one.
race 9 times, you'll have 9 different results. I think it's the
Might be.
hardest race of the day. The last leg of the pick 6. If I was a punter, I go field. I think it's very, very difficult, but my job is to try help you analyze this race
Indeed.
and to try find the winner. And I think the winner will come from Free to Win. He's run behind Xavier last time. I think there was an inquiry into the ride.
Yeah.
I think the jockey got 6 weeks suspension, if
His
I'm not
captain is
mistaken.
good form also.
When I saw him run that day, I said he should win. He was unlucky not to win. I mean, he beat Seattle Kid by 5 lengths. He looks like the horse that should win, but the same jockey's riding him. It was suspended last time, so let's hope he can produce the win. And I think he's definitely the right horse in the race, in my opinion.
And what about number 3, Thomas Henry, with Bikari on board? You know, this horse is very impressive at track work. Huh?
Very impressive, 100%. And he beat Better Belize by a length and a quarter. Better Belize came out and won.
One.
So form runs franked. Definitely the horse that they all have to watch out for. Negative draw, but I mean he's gonna go to the front. So I think if he gets a soft lead, it's gonna be quite hard to beat this horse.
And what about the very consistent Transonic, but draw number 9 in the shorts at this time?
Look, if Transonic can overcome that draw, get a soft lead, if he doesn't have to challenge Thomas Henry too much, it's going to be hard to beat him. When he stepped up to the 55 or the 56 rating, he won very impressively, beating Free to Win. Free to Win came out and won by 5 lengths. Then his next start, he ran second to Prince Alf. I think he can run a big race again. I feel like both times he won was 2 really, really good rides by Donahue. And if he can get a good ride this meeting again, I think he's a big runner. And for 4th, Trapeze Express, I think behind Special Blend, I mean, we can see everything that's run behind, or that's run in front of Special Blend is running in the Derby. So he's got the form. He's definitely got the form. He's run behind Special Blend, and I think he's a big runner. And I just think the draw very also negative. He's got a good weight of 60.5. So yeah, I think he's a runner. But don't get me wrong, the toughest race of the day. Very, very difficult.
So for the win, number 2, Free to Win, and for the placings, number 3, Thomas Henry, number 6, Transonic, and number 1, Trapeze Express. Before ending the show, Devon, I'd like to ask you about, as usual, your best bets of the day and value bets also.
Okay, look, obviously in race 1, I like Tomorrow's Vision as my best bet.
Mm-hmm.
And in race 5, Illicit Kiss, number 1.
Yeah.
Illicit Kiss in race 1, number 4, Tomorrow's Vision. Those are my 2 best bets on the day. And my value bets come up in race 6, Lunification. It's a very difficult race, but is a lot of value, number 6. And race 7, Captain Flint. I don't know what price he is. I think he's a bit of
2
value.
last time winner.
Yeah, I think
value
he's definitely a value bet.
So Devon's best bets of the day,
And you?
ladies and gentlemen. I like a Superior Force as best bet in race 3, and race 5, Illicit Kiss, and as value bet in race 2, horse number 6, Onika Montana. This got surprising to you?
Not really. It's got decent form.
Yeah, I saw him this morning. Very good form.
That's good. Jana has definitely got good form. I mean, I like your 2 best bets as well. I would definitely make. I said to you, I would have
also
made
like
Superior
Liquid in
Force.
race 3 as value bet.
I would have made Superior Force my best bet if Sonostra wasn't in the race. So yeah, I can agree with you there.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's Vision and Illicit Kiss as best bet for Devon and as value bet Lunar Vacation and Captain Flint for Sunday. Before ending the show, Devon, a big thank you to you for your presence and analysis as usual.
And the same goes with you, Ria. I really appreciate the time and effort that you've taken to do the show with me. And obviously, we have to make mention of the tote, the people's tote. Guys, you need to play on the tote. There's a lot of value to be added there, and it does generate funds and put back into the game. If you want to keep the game going, the tote needs to be exfoliated and used. Another special mention must go out to BSP, the business, the sponsors of the main race, the whole meeting. Really, really thank you for your sponsorship. Racing definitely needs more sponsors from everyone, and it will be really, really good to see that we have our first classic on the meeting. I mean, on the season. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. We're looking forward to it. I mean, very anticipated race day, and the draw ceremony was done quite well, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I think it's going to be a big meeting. Come support us, come to races, have fun, and play with the people's tote. Obviously, a special mention and thank you must go out to the Mustang brother and Shahil for doing his hard work in the back there, the technical team, to you, to everyone else in the background. Thank you for all your hard work, and yeah, much appreciated.
Thank you very much. Finally, I would like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching race previews as usual. Also, big thanks to our production and technical team behind the cameras. I invite you all to join us for an exciting weekend of racing at the Champ de Mars. Till then, take care. See you. Bye-bye.